Thinking that he had rotation help. Woo! Wow. Oh. Watch the quickness that he pivots here. There it is right there.
The current NBA basketball season is underway, and with everything that is going on now in the world, it is important more than ever to have these games on. And as current players like LeBron James continue to wow everyone, many still look to the past to see what came before, which means going and looking at Michael Jordan. The GOAT, in many people's eyes, has had a long and prosperous career both on and off the court, which has raked in a lot of money for him, and he has spent it accordingly. So allow us to show you 8 expensive items that Michael Jordan owns that cost more than your life. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Fleet of cars. Let's be honest here for a second. When you think about most NBA players that get massive paychecks, you think about the cars that they usually drive because they make an entrance at key events and games. From his playing days until now, Michael Jordan has always had a big love of cars. He drives the fastest and the most stylish cars around. Too many to name, in fact. And because he's worth a lot of money, he has a whole fleet of them at his disposal that he can drive anytime he wants. Is this self-indulgence? Sure. But when you're Air Jordan, you can afford to get the ride you want whenever you want. Number 7. His gambling. It may sound odd to talk about his gambling habits, but it is an important part of Michael Jordan's life during and post-basketball playing, and a key thing that he does with his money. And at times, his character has been called into question because of it. If you don't believe me, you can look up some of the absolutely wild stories that have come around from Michael Jordan betting on things of all types and natures. One former Bulls player has stated that Michael Jordan has bet on simple games like rock, paper, scissors. So much so that he once bet $100,000 on a single game of rock, paper, scissors. That is a lot. But it gets worse, because one sports manager noted that during a week of playing golf with Michael Jordan, Jordan owed him $1.3 million after it was all said and done. Plus, his longtime friend and golfing partner and gambling partner, Charles Barkley, noted that in one game, Michael bet him $300,000 on a single putt. Not a hole, not a game, but for one putt. And this says nothing of his time doing things like poker with Magic Johnson or any other competitions. The key word here is competition. Michael Jordan is the most competitive person on the planet. It doesn't matter how much money he'll make or lose, he'll make the bet because he wants to win. So yeah, not what you expect from the GOAT, but hey, that's just how he rolls. Number 6, Chicago Mansion. Michael Jordan has had quite a few mansions, as you might expect, including one in his favorite city of Chicago. The problem is that the massive mansion that he has there is almost unsellable, and it has been on the market for about 8 years. This mansion is 56,000 square feet, so that makes it a pretty large place. And Michael has made sure that not only does the outside look good, but the inside looks good as well, including having some rather, well, let's just say unique items, like a pool with a grass island in the middle of it, a door from the Playboy Mansion, a table based on the streets of Baghdad, and MJ branded golf bags. Oh, and did we mention that this house is on 7 acres of land and can be seen from the air in great quality? Which is kind of a problem, because anytime you have these homes that are just kind of gross over improvements for the area, they do lead to very, very lengthy marketing time, said Gail Listener of Integra Realty Resources. The problem here is that this house was built to be Michael Jordan's home, including having gates that read 23 on them. So unless you're Michael Jordan, a lot of this stuff isn't going to matter to you. Because of that, Michael has had to spend 7 years paying $100,000 in property taxes as he waits for it to sell. And he's had to slash the starting price of $29 million for the estate to under $15 million. And it still hasn't sold. So let this be a lesson to you. It can be fine to improve or renovate a mansion, but don't customize it too much. Then it ends up being impossible to sell. Number 5, Charlotte Bobcats and the Hornets.
The pass. Hornets down 3. Biz, chin up.
In terms of value and scale and importance, one of the biggest things by far is that Michael Jordan owns an NBA franchise in the Charlotte Hornets, formerly known as the Charlotte Bobcats. When he bought the team in 2010, they only cost $175 million. Which, well, yes, that is a lot of money, considering the value of certain NBA teams at the time, including the Bulls, Lakers, Celtics, etc., it's actually a steal. And when he bought them, they stunk, and they stunk for a while after he bought them, but their value did rise thanks to Jordan, and eventually the team's worth became $1.3 billion, with Jordan owning 97% of the equity in the team, which is why this and other factors led to him being a billionaire. Now sure, they're not a top-tier NBA franchise, but they have had some good runs, including having star Kemba Walker for multiple years and leading the team to the playoffs. And now they have Gordon Hayward and LaMelo Ball, and some think this could be the beginning of another surge for them. Whether this will all work out or not is a bit up for debate, as the Hornets are still the worst team in terms of value, but with enough good years, you never know. Number 4, private jet. A man of Jordan's business acumen needs to get everywhere in a speedy manner, and to that end, he has a Gulfstream 4 jet that is perfectly fit to MJ's style. It is painted blue and white to symbolize his team with the North Carolina Tar Heels in college, where he made his name and became a top draft pick in the NBA. But of course, it also has his Air Jordan logo and the numbers of his jersey and the number of NBA titles he won, 6, on the plane as well. Not to mention the inside of the plane is able to house about 19 people, meaning that he can take his friends, business partners, and more with him on journeys should he need to. Now granted, we can't say how much it costs because jets have a range of prices, but given the very personalized nature of it, we would be shocked if it wasn't a couple $100 million, which he can totally afford and then some. Number 3, the Air Jordan brand. This is a bit of a tricky one because obviously it's Nike who owns the Air Jordan brand, but Jordan has a stake in it because these shoes bear his name, his image via the Air Jordan logo. Plus, he was the one who made the brand actually mean something. The Air Jordan brand is the top shoe in the world, at least in regards to sports shoes. Nothing else can top it. The brand brings in about $3 billion worth of revenue a year. Now, you might think that because of Jordan not being in the league as a player that the brand would suffer, but the opposite is actually true. The legend of Michael Jordan lives on, and both Nike and Jordan know how to connect with people, as they've made variations of the shoes to get the interest of both younger and older buyers. Fun fact, just from the Air Jordan brand, MJ makes about $100 million a year from the royalties. Also, as The Last Dance showed us, this was something he got in his rookie season via his agent, and it was unheard of at the time. And Jordan didn't even want to do a deal with Nike, but various factors fell into place, and the rest is history. Number 2, endorsement deals. Not unlike another global NBA superstar that is retired and building his own brand, Shaq, Michael Jordan knows that to be a good brand spokesperson, he needs to make sure that it's a brand worth supporting. He wants to be associated with good products so that when he endorses them, people know it must be good. This is why you see him partnering with people like Nike, Gatorade, Upper Deck, Hanes, and more, and he is making a killing on these deals every year. Why? Well, because he's Michael Jordan. Number 1, philanthropy. While Michael Jordan does spend big, he also knows how to give back. He came up from humble beginnings, and he lost his father in a very tragic way. And he does love both Chicago and Charlotte, as well as North Carolina, and so he tries to give back whenever he can. What's more, he does it in both a personal capacity and via his official role as owner of the Charlotte Hornets. And as if that wasn't enough, he's at times not only donated his personal money, but legal settlements that he won so that they could benefit from his success. He has donated so much to so many charities and organizations that we honestly could have made a whole list just talking about them, and just add that to the reasons why he is the GOAT. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Michael Jordan and how he spent his wealth over the years? Which of these do you personally find the most mesmerizing in terms of its value or what Michael Jordan has? Do you think that he has a lot more wealthy things that we just don't know about? What do you think will be his next big purchase? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.